segment 4, Danny Vegas Time, Danny Vegas World. Like I've been saying all day today, kind of came in. It's kind of we're down into the slow-mo of the year. Everybody's just really getting ready for Christmas and New Year's, and I hope everybody's doing great. I want to thank everybody who has helped our studio. There's no doubt that as the person who runs this studio, I love what I do. I was up at 2 o'clock this morning working. I love it. I have some great things planned for WCOBM in 2018. This vision is extraordinary. Stick around. Now, Business Titan segment 4, classic Great Expectations, go. Pow! Danny Vegas Time, Danny Vegas World, segment 2. We are $250,000 into the show, and oh my goodness, oh doctor, hang a star on this one. Look what we got here, Sharp Tank, hashtag Sharp Tank. What do we got going on here, man? Because we are boozing here right now.
I brought in some of my favorite people. We have Miss Patty Peters and Professor KJ. He is a professor of yeastology. That has nothing to do with my annual exam, that has everything to do with the Nevada School of Wine, Grape Expectations. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, folks, to the show.
Thank you. This is fun. I'm happy to be here, really.
We're happy to have you on here. You guys have been making the rounds lately in the local Las Vegas media because it is an exciting time to have a winery, which you've got opening up, and to be part of a school of wine. What's special with this time of year, Miss Patty Peters? What's happening?
What's happening this time of year? We're getting ready to go into the California harvest. And we've got till the end of this month, August 31st to be exact. If you want to make wine with us this year, this is where you've got to sign up and come in, tell us what kind of wine you want to make. And if you don't know, then we'll get with KJ or Big Mike and help you figure it out. And in September, October, we start live and start making wine for the next 9 months.
Danny, I got to tell you.
Okay, fill me in on all this stuff, man.
You never forget your first crush. Am I right?
You know what? You're right. I still remember my first crush.
Well, every single person that has come to Grape Expectations, they never forget their first crush, and they really fall in love with the winemaking process.
Okay.
They really do. So Nevada School of Wine, Grape Expectations, this is now your 10th year? Has it been 10 years?
It's been 10 years.
10 years of making wine in the desert, and that is something that most people don't think a lot about, right, Professor KJ?
Exactly. And this is actually our 14th harvest because we do 2 harvests a year now. We bring grapes in from Chile, South America, as well as South Africa. So that's in May because that's their fall, and then we're bottling in May. So we get 2 a year now, so we're in our 14th harvest, and we've had a lot of fun in doing just that with our 5,000 people who make wine with us.
Okay, so I am a wine consumer. I like wine. I have maybe 3 or 4 glasses per week on average if I'm giving the martinis a break. I was surprised, Patty. I learned a lot meeting you a little bit more than a month ago about who was the customer. Who was going to get a lot of benefit out of coming to the wine school and making wine? Because I really thought that you really had to be a winophile. You had to really be a wine snob, maybe be a little nerdy, know a lot more about science, kind of look like this guy. But there is every walk of life that's coming down to Grape Expectations. Can you tell me a little bit about who's coming into Grape Expectations and what they're discovering when they come down, more than just you end up walking away with a lot of wine? 240 bottles out of a barrel.
Yeah, that's not too shabby, is it?
No.
Wow.
It's I think it's the intrigue of making your own wine. When you first think about it, you think, oh my God, how good can it be? I've been with people that have made wine in their bedrooms, and they've made dandelion wine. And when my husband and I first heard about this back on the East Coast, that's what we were thinking until you walk in and you see the barrels. And then you see these beautiful 53-gallon barrels, and then the love just starts. And then once you get into it, then you meet people like KJ, Big Mike, Chad, and you really start learning about it. And you just get lost in it. So it's a wine that brings them in, but it's a socializing that keeps them coming back.
And your return rate, Danny, their return rate for their clientele that comes in, because you think, okay, I'm going to go and learn how to make wine. I've learned it. It's
All
one,
right.
it's done.
And I get some 200 some odd bottles, is what you're saying?
Well, if you take the entire barrel yourself, you
Oh,
have
okay.
240 bottles.
Okay.
But they've got an 85% plus return rate for their clientele.
Wow.
People really do fall in love. I got to say, they fall in love with you, the owners and production and the crew, the cast of characters.
We got a cast of characters,
The cast
too.
of characters at Grape Expectations. They fall in love with it, and they keep coming back over and over again.
Well, and they become a family, and we care about them. I mean, you know, if people are making wine and after a while they get very creative in the blends that they put together, and if at the end maybe they're not crazy about the taste of that particular one, you know, that's okay, because it's still good. It's still good. And then they come back and they experiment some more. We're very the groups that come in, they all become one big group. We could have 16 groups in there in one day making wine, and we could have one group in there in one day. They make it's an event, it's a picnic. They bring
It does.
food, they bring wine, and they
Have you ever heard of wine gating?
No, I just order it by the glass. So tell me about that.
All right, so you know, I would love to tell you about wine gating, because I just learned about wine gating.
Okay.
Wine gating, you know, like tailgating in football, right?
Oh, okay.
What
All right.
happens? So here's how the process works, and please correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, because I'm just learning new for the first time.
Okay.
Right? So you've got a barrel of wine that you come and buy into, whether
Right.
it's 5 people, 10 people, up to 20 people is usually the max, because
Right.
there's 20 cases of wine in one of these big, beautiful French oak barrels.
Okay.
20 cases
American
of wine.
oak.
American oak.
Yes.
Ooh, look at that. I love it. Patriots. So American oak. So there's 20 cases of wine, and
Right.
there's 12 bottles in a case, right,
Right,
Professor
correct,
KJ?
correct.
So the folks come in, and the winemaking process, it's a 9-month process, because
Wow.
wine takes time, right?
Okay.
So wine takes time. So it's a 9-month process. You actually come in 4 times. The first time you come in is when you come in for the crush.
Okay.
That's what you never forget. That
Kind of like
crush.
Lucille Ball in the wine thing, crushing the grapes
Oh.
with her feet.
they're kind of lot.
Kind of
less-
like
only
that.
less
but
feet.
Unfortunately, you're not allowed to do the feet here because of the health department rules.
You know,
of course, but-
they always ruin the party. Okay.
Okay, so you come in for the crush. A week later, after the wine ferments for a week, then
Correct.
you come in for the press,
Right.
and that's when it squishes all of the stems, and the stems are out, the skins,
Right.
the flesh, and then it goes into
And into the American oak
the
barrel.
American oak barrel.
We also have some Hungarian oak for some specialized wine that we
Right.
make that's going to be in the barrel 3 years, but that's a whole reserve,
Okay.
classical reserve. That's an entirely different thing.
Okay.
This
And
is
people still come to make that.
Wow,
They
that's
still-
amazing.
They'll
Yeah, so
come
they
in
come
on-
in to make it, and then about three to 4 months later, they come in for the racking,
Right.
and then at the final step, at 9 months is up, you come in for the actual bottling. When you are getting together and you're putting your bottles together, you do
Right.
the wine labels. But what happens? Each one of these processes take about 1 hour, but people end up spending hours there.
Oh, it's
do.
amazing.
Because-
They'll come in a half hour before, they'll bring their food, bring wine, and then they'll do the project,
So it's a party. It's wine gating.
and then they'll stay 3-4 hours.
Wow.
You know what's
Okay.
cool is they get to taste their wine all along the way. So from the time they come in to do the crush, they get to taste the grapes. You know, a Cabernet grape's different from a Merlot grape, and then they get to at the time of the pressing, they get to taste a little bit of that juice, because now you got wine.
Right.
And it's gone through the fermentation. It may not have all the body, but you can get drunk on it.
Okay, that's
And then-
cool about it.
And then when you get to the racking, now you get to see, okay, hey, it's 3-4 months down the road, and how's it taste now? Oh my gosh, it's tasting so much better. And then when it gets to bottling, they get to taste it. They're just like, it's awesome stuff.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
think you don't know
awesome.
anything about making wine, but there's enough expertise, enough education, enough collaboration that you make great wine. Speaking of tasting, Professor, are we gonna pop a cork and do this?
We may do that. And do you realize that the juice of red grapes is actually clear?
I did
Red
not
wine
know.
gets its color by the juice being in contact with the skins during fermentation,
Oh.
and with minor exceptions. Alicante Boucher and a couple esoteric grape varietals actually have a pink color for the juice, but the rest of them are clear. For example, here's a wine grape right here, very small, very intense, and if you squeeze this grape onto this refractometer, I'll try to
Refractometer.
This is where Professor really gets his
This is a
nerd
refractometer.
going.
refractometer. And what we're going to do is check the Brix, B-R-I-X. That's the amount of sugar that's in this one grape.
Okay.
Which, if this were the whole vat, we would be able to determine what the alcohol by volume would be.
Okay.
And what
Okay.
you do is you look through here and you see, and I'll let you do that.
Brix is as much sugar that's in the
That's
grapes,
in
right? How
that
sweet
one
the
grape.
grapes are.
Yeah, but what we really do is we
Okay.
take a whole bunch of these.
Okay, Danny, you want to check that out?
Yeah.
Let me check it out. Let me see
Now
that.
you'll see that the lady in the stratosphere, she still has the same bikini on. She had it on last week.
Nice, nice.
True.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
checking the Brix, so you check
Okay.
the sweet level.
So now this was about 28, okay, because it's pretty. So if you divide that by 2 and add 0.5, you know that your alcohol by volume will be 14.5%.
14.5%. That's how you know how loaded you're going to get off of your,
Okay.
your wine.
Okay.
But the
See?
problem with a lot of people is they don't look at the bottle and they don't see what the alcohol is, and it's written on every
Yeah,
bottle.
yeah.
And if they get headaches, they blame it on sulfites or something, and they can't spell sulfites. But somebody told them somewhere along the line that sulfites cause my headaches. No, the high alcohol causes it, and they don't drink any water, and so they become dehydrated. So if people would look at the bottle and find out what the heck the alcohol is, maybe there would be less headaches when they drink wine, and not blame it on sulfites.
So you're going to find that in this little segment, you probably learned a lot more about wine than you thought you were going to.
That's right.
And that's really what happens at Grape Expectations. I found that even before I have crushed my first grape,
Okay.
just spending a little bit of time around the professor, Patty, Mike, the Chad, I feel like I can walk into any wine shop and order off of any menu, and I know a heck of a lot more, and I'm not going to feel so stupid when it comes to wine, because we feel stupid when it comes to wine when you've got, oh, the sommelier,
Yeah.
so hoity-toity. So, yeah, it's
You
really
only
cool.
feel stupid right before you take the first drink.
Yeah.
All right.
Then you get smarter.
Okay.
All right.
We keep the snobbishness out of the whole process.
Let's tell
totally
everybody
do.
how to get a hold of everybody and where's our contact information, how do we get a hold, how do we get involved, all that stuff.
Okay, so the crush is happening, or the deadline to get in on your first crush to make your wine, it's August 31st, so it's coming up quick.
Yes.
So the best thing to do is either call Grape Expectations at 702-806-3383.
Correct.
You can come by Grape Expectation. Just give them a call first to make sure they're there. They're busy down there.
That's right.
Starting each day about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the day. Or you can go to the website, which is grapeexpectationslasvegas.com. Find them on Facebook. You really got to come down and check it out. It is a grape time.
That's right. Well, thank you very much for being on our show today. It was an honor.
Well, it's my
Well,
pleasure. I know Patty's having fun. I'm having fun. We all
Always
have
have
fun.
I think she always has fun.
Now we can
She
pop
does.
that bottle right there,
Yeah.
and we can put some.
All right, well, maybe after the show we can slam a few down. All right, segment 3 coming up. Thank you for watching. We'll be right back.